Good morning, everyone. My name is John, and I'm signing in from British Columbia, Canada. And so I've been watching all these videos from Mr. Des, Andrew, and I instantly saw what he was talking about on Google Maps and Google Earth, and I thought it was very fascinating. So I've been looking into it ever since he started talking about it. And I'm extremely interested because this is very interesting stuff. So I went and looked at the Mount Fossil University YouTube channel, and if any of you haven't done so yet, I absolutely recommend that you do. It's absolutely amazing. There's all kinds of videos about mud fossils and fossilized different, biological structures in the mountains and in all over the earth. So last Sunday, I was driving back from visiting my family and friends in the Okanagan, and I was driving past the Hope Slide in British Columbia. So I pulled over off the highway. It was mid-afternoon, around 3 o'clock, and I started hiking through the slide. So I'd like to show you guys what I found and what I've been finding. I think this is very interesting, considering the what we've been talking about. And yeah, I hope you like this. So let's start this presentation. I'm going to talk to you for a few slides and then I'll show you the videos. So mud fossils at the Hope Slide, BC. The Hope Slide is a landslide that happened on January 9th, 1965. There's 4 casualties and it was the second largest recorded in Canada after Mount Meagher landslide in 2010. They were both fairly similarly sized. And it's estimated that 47 million cubic meters of rocks and stones and whatnot were part of the landslide. Now, I went, the first day was Sunday afternoon, and I walked along the green path. I started right over by the electric vehicle charging station, which is where I parked. And that day, I wasn't really, specifically looking for anything. I was more just going for a hike for the fun of it. And I'm glad that I did. On the second time, the blue path was on the second hike on Wednesday, August 18th, which was Wednesday. And I basically started over by the other marker, the Hope Slide, BC. And then I went across, but around the other way. I took a slightly different path because I was checking out a few different things. And if you see over to the left there's also a little blue circle. I actually went down that way. I took the road, the old Hope Princeton Highway. That's not in use anymore. And I drove down that way and checked out a few things on that side too. This is a map. Over to the right of the screen, you'll see where the Hope Slide is and the electric charging station. And this is where most of the mud fossils that I'm going to show you came from. Now, if you go all the way down the highway up to the top left, you can see there's the town of Hope, BC, that is marked. And I went into the Fraser River and I found basically exactly the same type of rocks in the Fraser River. And basically what this indicates to me, because of the distance and locations, it indicates to me that the mud fossils found in the Fraser River came from further upriver, which is up a different valley, and not from the Hope Side. So that would mean that not only the mountain with where the Hope Side happened is made of these things, but all these mountains all across this mountain chain probably. Further research is going to be needed to find that out. This is one piece that's very clear and very easy to see. If you look over to the right, you can see the outside edge of the fossil. It's kind of has different coloring. You'll see what that is. It's the weathering. It's called patina when you talk about it with metals and stone. So it's a different color if you look at that from the outside, which I'm going to show you next. If you look inwards, you can see the transitions from where there used to be meat to bone marrow to fat. Near the top of it clearly looks like a piece of beef jerky. Like this is, I could bring this to my butcher and ask him what kind of steak that is, and he'd probably give me an answer. Here's another picture of the same piece. You can see the outside of the rock before it was cracked open, the outside of the fossil before it was cracked open. That's what typical rocks look like, right? Now, when you crack them open, on the inside is the fossilized stuff that you can see. You can see the transition from where it's weathered to the interior of the fossil and then to the rest of it. So this is a picture of fresh steaks. You can see, the marbling, the fat, the different textures, right? And you can see the dry aged steak. Now I'm showing you this because I want you to pay attention to the coloration difference. And what I'm seeing with these fossils, not just the ones that I have here, but also the ones I saw up in the Holt slide, is that the coloration is very similar to what you would see in dry aged steak. See right here where all the blood is, it becomes really kind of like a dark brown instead of red. So you can clearly see on this piece that there's the patterning, and this is obviously not just some molten minerals in the center of the earth that got spewed up from a volcano or something. This is clearly a type of fossilized organic flesh. And this one is another one that was cracked open somewhat recently, but there's also already some weathering happening on it. So you can see where it's going from kind of fresh cracked open rock or fossil to where it's starting to get weathered and form a patina, and you can see how it goes from one to the other. All right, so that's it for the slides. I'm going to show you the videos, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. Thank you for your time.